love it. I love it. I love it. Let's do it. Sharon Braun, the Minding Your Business podcast, episode number 290 is in effect. That's how we're going to do this thing. Yep. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody. Thank you for joining. Thanks for checking me out here on the podcast. You can connect with me, Champ10K. That's where you can connect with all my links, different resources, things that I share with all of you all that I come across, free and discounted resources, particularly if you're interested in getting involved in real estate, or if you're Black, Indigenous, or a women business owner in Memphis and you're looking for low-cost funding. You can definitely check us out at rivercitycapital.org. Recording this on Friday, April the 22nd. We're just blowing through this month. Pretty soon it's going to be May coming up here in a little over a week. And so, man, we're just blasting through this thing. We're blasting through 2022. I hope this finds you wherever you are, you're listening, watching. I hope this finds you well and in good spirits, man. Definitely, for sure. There's a lot going on out here. And so I always want to be careful to make sure that to bring you well wishes, positive vibes, that sort of thing, as we engage in today's discussion. Shout out to everybody. We're at episode 290. We're getting very close to 300 numerically, although I've already recorded over 300 total episodes of the Minding Your Business podcast. This is episode 290, and so we've got a handful of episodes to go before we get to 300, which is another milestone in podcasting, of course, as you reach different milestones and recording episodes. There's a little more that goes into this than just grabbing a microphone or grabbing a camera and speaking. A little bit more in the preparation, things of that nature. So I appreciate you all that have been rocking with me the whole time. Those of you that are new to the Minding Your Business community, definitely shout out to you. And man, we're going to keep this thing going, really, as long as y'all have me. So again, it's a nice day. I'm here in Memphis. Weather's kind of warmed up finally. And we're doing our thing. And so, of course, someone's going to call me while I'm on my phone, with Instagram. And so let me know on Instagram. Sometimes when people call me, it knocks out the sound on IG sometimes. So let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, or hit the heart button if you can hear me. Shout out to everybody on the Wisdom app. Always glad to have you great folks. Those that are listening to the replay of this, or if you're listening live, shout out to everybody on Facebook, the Facebook family, and then shout out to everybody on IG. We want to get into today's subject, and then I want to release class and let y'all get to your next thing. But what I want to do is kind of go through a project that I'm working on that I'm going to soon be launching as we talk about getting to the month of May. I'm going to be launching this project. I'm very excited about it. It's something I've been working on for some time, and I'm glad to be sharing it with all of you, and hope that it provides value to you, and I get feedback from it here over time. Many of you are familiar that, and I've talked about it a lot here on the podcast and on various social media platforms, that I've been involved in real estate since 2007. I was 26 years old, and now I'm 41, right? So that's how time can go by just that quick. But I was 26 years old when I got my first investment property. And I've been through the whole gambit of buy and hold, wholesaling, run the gambit. You've done that. I've done a couple fix and flips, but nothing kind of compared to when I've invested in land. And I've invested in land. I've got my first piece of kind of land property, just kind of pure land, a land lot here in Memphis in 2017. I bought it very inexpensive and sold it for a very nice spread. I actually bought it for $50. The fee at the county land bank was more than the actual cost of the property, believe it or not. So that was kind of funny and interesting. But anyway, that kind of sparked my interest, quite frankly, into land investing, just the ease of which I was able to conduct those transactions and and that sort of thing. The not as much competition. So I want to get into some of the features and benefits of land investing, of course, which is at its very core one of the basic forms of investing from an asset standpoint, but it's often forgotten in today's environment of cryptocurrencies and stock markets and 401ks and sport trading cards and all the different things that people today are now investing in. It's changed a lot of that game. And so I just want to talk through, a little bit about land investing, and then I am launching the Land Champs Club. It's an online virtual club. It's going to be at a website domain. I look to release it on May the 1st. So here in about a week or so, a little over a week from the day I'm recording this, I'll be launching the Land Champs Club. And it's really going to be this all encompassing kind of community, kind of a one-stop shop for you to learn how to do land deals. And whether you are looking to purchase land for yourself, if you just want to hold it as an asset, if you're looking to build or develop on land, if you are looking to wholesale land, or you want to flip land, if you want to do what's called a land arbitrage, whatever that is, making land part of your investment strategy is very prudent and can be very worthwhile and very profitable, and very, in many senses, less taxing than other, asset classes, like some of the ones I mentioned earlier. So the history behind the club is I've been looking for some time at a way to kind of present more than just an online course, right? There are many online courses out there, and of course that doesn't matter. There's a lot of stuff, right? But people are still, you still do it, you can still be very successful. So, I looked at, how can I create something that's a little bit more of a course, and a little bit more than just simply networking. And so that's where I came up with the idea, and had some conversation with some folks that poured into me, and that's where I developed the Land Champs Club. And the idea, and going back to my personal philosophy, I believe that everybody has the capacity to be a champion. I looked at this and I said, to be what does it mean to be a champion in land? And it means having and being equipped with the trust and confidence in yourself to be able to first find deals, recognize deals, and then be able to execute on the exit strategy that makes the best sense for yourself, the best sense for everyone involved, and the best sense for whatever your financial goals are when you're investing. And so I wanted a place of a one-stop shop. I see a lot of things that are fragmented, right? There's a course here, there's a club there, there's, but not really under one umbrella. So that's where the Land Champs Club came into being. And so I worked with a developer. My developer is, kind of on the last leg of finishing up the landing page. We'll get to some of the price points here in a second, but just kind of building out and finishing up the framework for the club. And so the club's going to include access, kind of in full to online course modules, video and written modules. There'll be skill building quizzes, and really the information is going to focus around and really target those that are kind of new to real estate as it relates to land. So even if you've got experience in other forms of real estate, right? This is where it's going to be very helpful for you, okay? Because learning the different exit strategies. See, a lot of times there's a lot of courses that are more, kind of, very niched. And a lot of them are focused on wholesaling because a lot of people are looking for their intro into real estate, and they're looking to do so when they don't maybe have a lot of credit established or a lot of cash, things like that, or they do have it established and just aren't in a position to use a lot of it. Wholesaling is kind of looked at, and so there's a ton of wholesaling courses. It's become big during the pandemic, and that's really tremendous. It's really dope, and there's some folks that are doing extremely well with it. But when you look at land, there's not really a lot of people in the land business. It's mostly developers and things like that. Not a lot of people of color involved in the strict investing piece of land. And so I saw it as an opportunity. And as I began doing land deals, which I do actually today, more land deals than I do property deals, actually. I still do wholesale property and things of that nature, but there's nothing like land. No, there's no tenants, right? There's no termites. There's no roofs. There's no leaky faucets or leaky pipes. No freeze over pipes. No break-ins. No fighting. None of those type of things that sometimes come into play when you're dealing with people as tenants. Because there's not a structure on the land, there's less compliance. People and structure bring what? Compliance, right? And so that's what we are looking at when we look at looking at investing in land. The other big thing is that land is not frequently is traded hardcore as a commodity outside of REITs and things like that. It is not as manipulated on open markets. The value is generally tied to obviously what? Location, and what type of structure you can build on it, how it's zoned, and of course what's actually on the land, the minerals that may be on it, sources of water, things like that, utilities if it's raw or improved. So these are all things that you learn. You learn some of the base terminology. You learn how to be able to recognize and evaluate a deal, which I'm a big proponent of. What is a deal versus what's not a deal, right? Because if you don't know what a deal is and you don't know what's not a deal, then you can end up wasting a lot of time, effort, and possibly even money. Land allows you to get involved at a much lower price point. Think about if you're going to invest in real estate outside of wholesaling, right? You typically are going to have some level of cash. You always have to have some cash to market and things like that in many cases. But you're also going to have access to money to be able to purchase the property, right? So depending on where you are, I mean, that could be anywhere from $10,000 in many cases all the way up to as high as you want to go. Many people, if you're buying distressed property, you're right now in this market, you may be spending $100,000 or more. And so you have to be able to secure that type of credit and have money to be able to put down, because many of the lenders aren't lending at 100%, right? So if a lender's giving you money at 70%, 80%, things of that nature, you need to have access to some type of cash to be able to put down in some form or fashion. You got to be able to understand and curate relationships with contractors. You got to have access to property management in many cases so that you can have hopefully quality tenants, and also have that same management company manage that throughout the life cycle that you own the property. But there's stress points involved in that, which are good. That's part of investing, right? But there's stress points involved in that. And so when you're starting out, you may not want to take on that type of risk, or you may not even be in a position to take on that type of risk, right? And so that's where land provides a great opportunity. You can buy land right now in this country. Think about it. As many counties as there are in the United States of America right now, there's land in every one of them, right? Now, some of it has more value than others. Some of it's in different locations than others, has different amenities on the land and things of that nature. But the thing is that there's land available all over this country. And what gives real estate its kind of true value right off the bat? One, what someone's willing to pay for it, obviously. But two, probably better yet, a 1A, is the location of it, right? What's on it, the location of it. And so land is a great way to get started. Like I mentioned earlier, my first land lot I bought here in Memphis, I bought for $50. You can buy land right now in this country for certainly well under $10,000. But, I mean, you can buy it and even have the owner finance it, which is called seller financing. You can do that for, maybe, sometimes even under $100, but maybe $100, $200, $300, right off the bat. And you can buy land in various states because you can buy virtually, which is what I do. And so I show people how to do that, how you can find land deals, understand the way to assess the land, determine your exit strategy, how to communicate with the owner of the land or the seller. And keep in mind, this is another place where it's different than property. With properties, my wife and I, right? We've got property here. We've got our main house, got property. Probably 2 or 3 times a day, we get a text message either from an investor and or wholesaler about wanting to sell our property. There's a lot of competition out there, a lot of people in the game, again, which is super dope. The difference being with land is there's not as many people in that game. Landowners, when I've owned land, I don't even get a third of the attention that I do with with property. It's not even close. It's not even close. And so it's a great opportunity when you're talking with sellers. The reason I bring that up as a point is becomes a great opportunity for you to have conversations where you may be one of few or maybe the only person having a conversation with an individual about their land, right? And so that provides a tremendous opportunity for you in negotiations and things like that. Most people don't have the same affinity for land like they do a property. I mean, how many times have you heard somebody talk about a house, or that's the house that we were raised in? That's grandmama's house. That's big mama's house. That's big daddy's house. That's granddaddy's house. That's auntie's house. That's my cousin's house. Whatever. That's my mentor's house. People tend to have a greater affinity to it. With land, even if land has been in the family for many years and things of that nature, people don't speak of it the same way. They don't have the same affinity for it. People inherit land all the time from family members, friends, whatnot. People buy land and they have the expectation that they're going to build on it, and they don't, right? For whatever reason. And so it is, it presents opportunity, right? And so if you're looking to get involved kind of in real estate, and many of you have a lot of things going on. For me, trust me, I've got a lot of things going on. I'm running financial institution organization. I've got my wife. I've got my 3 daughters. I've got a number of different things going on, right? So keeping up more and more, keeping up with contractors and keeping up with property managers and keeping up with tenants and all those type of things isn't as attractive to me in my old age of 41 like it was at one point in time. And so think about with land, there's nothing to tear up. What, you go tear up on my land? You go kick the dirt? See, someone in the property, they'll get mad at you for owing you money. You'll have a tenant they get pissed off when you call asking for your money. They get mad at you. So with land, nothing for people to tear up, right? What are you gonna do? Go right ahead, be my guest, right? So you're not left with, like, one time I was left with a huge bill from someone that decided to move out in the middle of the night and tear up the property. Now, I'm not saying that's the worst, and that's not most people. In most cases, you're going to have a good tenant that's going to do very good by you. But every now and then you have those ugly tailed ones that will do you dirty, or at least attempt to. So land kind of alleviates that, right? And so that's where the club comes from. It's a place for us to curate, it's a place for us to discuss deals, have one-on-ones with myself and my business partners that are in real estate, that are in land, to help you formalize your deals, help you find deals, and then ultimately help you do deals and close them and get paid, right? Typical land deal. So let me get into some of the exit strategies real quick that we're going to teach. You'll be able to learn in the Land Champs Club. You'll be able to learn land arbitrage, which is essentially getting the land for one price and then selling it for a higher price. You get the land for $100 or $100 a month, whatever it is, and then you sell it to somebody for more than that, $300, $400, $500, $600 a month, maybe even more. And now you've got recurring cash flow. Think if you can repeat that, which is very easy. Land is very easy to scale up, right? There's plenty of it. It comes available all the time. There's not as many people out looking for it, right? Because most people, when they look at land, they only think, can I build on it? And if I can't build on it, they don't think anything of it. Did you know that you can do outdoor events on what? Land, right? Outdoor business events, outdoor social events, outdoor family events. Storage, a big thing. In an environment where there's a lot of multifamily being built, not as many subdivisions. People aren't buying, or they're not building or buying the 3 and 4 and 5 and 6,000 square foot houses like people were in the 90s, where they just had to constantly get more and more space, bigger, 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 bigger. That started to slow up now. Now people are looking at more minimalistic type lifestyles. What that does, though, is there's not places for storage. So you see what? Storage facilities popping up all over the place, right? Well, think about as land, think about the things that you can store on land, i.e. trucks, 18-wheelers, RVs, boats, motorcycles, things that people don't either, they can't or don't want to keep right at their house, right? That provides opportunity, okay? Of course, like I mentioned, you can always wholesale the land. You can get the land under contract for one price and assign that contract to a buyer for a spread, for a fee, right? You get it under contract for $5,000. You assign that contract to a buyer for $10,000. You make the spread, $5,000 in between. You can buy it and flip it. You can get the land. You can, if you want to do some improvement to it, fence it, clean it off, connect it to utilities, whatever it is you want to do, and then flip it to somebody for a higher spread. I talked about events. There's several different things that you can do from a leisure travel standpoint, right? People, like I mentioned with RVs, people looking for outdoor camping, things of that nature. There are these people out there, right? They may or may not look like you or be where you're from, but there are these people out there that are looking for their own private land, right? People who like to hunt. You have men and women who enjoy hunting. They like having their own private place to be able to do so, right? That's another another set of demand with people who have interest in buying land, and they love nothing in to buy it from you. And of course, we talked about development and things like that. There are developers all around that are looking for oftentimes growth markets where they can get in fairly early, and they can buy land that's obviously connected to utilities, that may be near water sources, a lake, a river. Land that is obviously near the expressway, land that is not far from a major town or city, right? Where they can be not the first to the trough, right? They don't want to be super early, but they certainly don't want to be late, right? So there are these growth markets where there's opportunities, and you can buy the land a little bit less expensive than in like major cities, right? So there are people like that will buy that land from you. Then you can just simply own it yourself. There are tax benefits. Of course, I'm not qualified to speak on those. Definitely check with your tax specialist or CPA around some of the tax benefits of owning land. But land obviously has a depreciation factor to it, and so that provides an opportunity for you. So there's a lot of things that we'll be talking about in the Land Champs Club, specifically that people are doing and that I'm doing to generate and create revenue opportunities and reoccurring revenue for you. Land is something, an investment that you can do. You could be as active as you want to be, right? If you're in the workforce right now and you're looking for something that you could do without a lot of headaches, right? Running an online store is really cool. It's super dope, but it's going to take it's going to take a lot of engagement, a lot of time. You got to manage inventories. You got to be managing the site, all those type of things. Other business models that you get into, of course, if you're going to start a a nonprofit, or you go start a landscaping business. These are all kind of hands-on type of businesses that you're going to have to be out. You got a retail store, right? You're going to have to be out managing that a lot. You start a restaurant, food truck, inventory management, people management, demand management, location man. There's a lot of things that you're going to have to be doing. With land, once it's set, if you find 4 acres somewhere, let's just say you find 4 acres in Nebraska, outside of, I don't know, Omaha, Nebraska, and you can park on that 4 acres. You could put 10, 15 RVs on it, right? You could reach out to an RV group, maybe on Facebook. Maybe they're local in the town. You can call the business chamber and get plugged in and connected, and people will pay you to be able to store their RV right on your land. They'll pay you by the month. They'll pay you quarterly, by the year, however you set it up, and you can provide those different options. So that's some of the things that we'll be talking about specifically, is how to execute on that. And think about that. You got RV storage. That's not something that you got to sit and watch and kind of babysit, every day, every hour, that sort of thing, right? Those are just opportunities that land creates, and that's some of the things that we're going to talk about. So the benefits to you for joining the Land Champs Club are really just as follows. One, you're going to learn these various exit strategies, kind of the details, the ins and outs, where the opportunities lie. You'll get a list of, kind of my, favorite places to do deals, where there are numerous deals out there. These are areas where there's cash buyers, if you're looking to get involved there. If you just want to simply own land, if you're looking to connect with developers. So you'll get my kind of exclusive list with that. That comes not just from myself, but many actual buyers that are doing it in real life right now. You'll get that access. That's very valuable. One-on-one mentorship. So one of the things that's big for me in helping people is it's not just the skill building, but it's the mentorship. How do you facilitate development of your business, and how do you build your business on your terms, right? Because it's not about trying to be like me or like anybody else. It's about how do you build your business that's best for you. When you talk about the land business. So we want to have one-on-ones to understand where you are, where you want to get to. And then let's build the framework out and execute on building your investing business the way that you see fit, and how you may see fit in the future as things change and evolve. Networking with other people is a big thing. You want to be able to connect with buyers. You want to be able to connect with investors, real estate attorneys, closing agents, other sellers, things of that nature. So, that's what you'll be able to do in the club. You'll have access to future coursework, so not just the introductory course, but you'll have the opportunity to have access within the club to future courses, future invites and events and things of that nature. We'll have deal discussions via Zoom, whether one-on-one or as a group collective, to go through deals, show deals that I'm working on, deals that others are working on for you to learn from, learn the caveats from, and not just the ones that are smooth sailing. Some of the ones that may have a little hair on them, or that may take a little bit more time to get done. And even the ones that sometimes fall through, right? You'll be able to see those, ask questions and learn from those, and get support on the deals that you're working on. Okay? So those are just some of the top benefits. We'll have social audio rooms that we'll do. We'll have discussions around land investing. Bring in other experts in the space. Other people who are active in the space, to give you different perspective, different ways of how people do their business. Because that's the thing. Everybody that, it's not just in land investing, in all business. Everybody's got their different formats, and I'm a product of many different processes and ways of viewing the world that I've incorporated into my own personality and how I like to do things. And that's where I find success. And I think that's where people find their footing and their success is when they're able to not just, try to copy and paste someone else's model 100%, but how they're able to take what they learn and take what pieces of what they see other people do and really build that and frame that into what works best. And so that's what you're going to learn in the the Land Champs Club when it launches on May the 1st. Now, for those of you that are looking to launch your course, or you've had the idea of launching your course, and one of the questions that comes up, because it came up for me, is how do you price it? How do you determine your pricing? And listen, you can find this on YouTube, and you'll find 100,000 people that are going to tell you all kinds of different stuff. Here's the fact of the matter. The fact of the matter is that there's not much of a science to it as much as an art, right? So when I looked at pricing Land Champs, right? So I've got kind of three, kind of buckets I was looking at. A subscription model, think of like Netflix and Apple, and all that type of thing where there's a per month type, kind of assessment. I looked at kind of a monthly payment, kind of taking the sum amount and breaking it down into monthly payments, which I'll get into. And then, of course, a one-time, type of fee, right? And so all those things come into play when we talk about Land Champs. So for me, again, there's three buckets. One, Land Champs as a one-time fee is $897. So come May 1st, it'll be $897 to join. That's going to give you all the benefits that I mentioned earlier. Hold on, let me get. Had to shut them dogs. So that's what that goes into. $897 one time, $250 for 4 months, and then a subscription model of $40 per month. And those are going to be my rates. I just believe that with the value that comes with it, that's what it's going to bring. Okay, and so that's what you can get into. All right, so those are the price points. As you determine your price points, just roll with it. You can always adjust it. That's the thing. You can always adjust the pricing. So always keep those things in mind, whether you're starting your course or if you're looking at the Land Champs Club. Also, we're going to offer financing. So we'll do finance. So if you look at the $897, if that's a challenge for you, right, then we're going to offer, and you'll have access online to sign up for financing. Some of it is soft credit based. There's actually a couple, vendors within that are not credit based, so you won't have to worry about that. Not even a soft pool, but you'll be able to establish flexible payments to help you get involved. So I want to, make it available for as many people as possible, while also pricing it to match my, 15 years of experience and the cost that I put into it to bring this to you all, right? And so we'll be talking about aspects of it throughout here on the podcast, here on Minding Your Business, and for those that decide to get involved. So again, $897. You can also break that down, $250 a month for 4 months, and then you can also do the subscription model for $40 a month. The subscription model will get you access to the course and the group to be able to have the group discussions. However, it won't get you access to future courses. With the $897, that is a lifetime membership, as is the $250 for 4 months. That'll get you lifetime access to all the benefits. And a great value for you is future courses that are released by myself and my business partners that'll be on Land Champs as part of the club. And so you won't want to miss that. That's tremendous value for you. And other benefits are going to come as we grow the club as well. So you're definitely going to want to be involved on the ground floor. So Again, I hope this is helping you as I look to grow and kind of curate the Land Champs Club. This has been episode 290 of the Minding Your Business podcast, entrepreneurship, real estate, trending news. There's still no business like minding your own. Definitely shoot me questions. If you want to email me, ron@landchamps.club. I'm sorry, say that right. ron@landchamps.club. If you want to shoot me an email, if you're interested in test driving the club, getting early access, if you've got questions, you've got thoughts, you've got ideas, definitely connect with me there, ron@landchamps.club. My gosh, Sean has got a question here. Is there a way for people with smaller and limited amounts of, he says wants, but I'm not sure if that means money or what, smaller limited amounts to engage in land investing? Yes, you can engage in land investing. I mean, typically what I like to say is if you've got at least access to $300 or $400, you can really get in the game. Can you do it without money? Yes, you can. However, that you're gonna have to really be diligent, and I can show you how to do it. But you're gonna have to really be diligent to do it with basically no money. But my rule of thumb is if you've got access to $300 or $400, you can get started in land investing. Very simple. You don't have to have a ton of software and things like that, especially to start. Now, when you want to scale and automate your business and all that, there's sites for days that'll help you do that today. But you don't have to have all that. It could be very simple, and there's some simple sites that I use and my team uses to find motivated land sellers and to be able to talk with them and engage conversation. And that's really all it is a conversation. And you may not be the best solution for everybody. However, when you treat people with respect and you can build trust and confidence, that really helps build your business brand. And again, you can do this all around the country. So you're not limited to just your backyard when you're looking at land. So I encourage you to share this, engage with me. Again, ron@landchamps.club. I'd love to be able to hear from you. Connect with me on the other social media channels. And I would love nothing other than come May 1st to have as many of you as possible join in because we're going to have some fun with it. But many of you that join, that take it seriously and really engage, are going to do very well with it, and you're going to make some money. And isn't there something about just supplementing your existing income, right? Like, just think about it. Even if you could make, let's just say you made an extra $2,000 a month just by doing a handful of land deals, wouldn't that really make a difference? Think about that trip that you want to take. Think about that down payment you want to make. Think about the debt that you want to get ahead of. Think about the things you want to do for significant other, for children, for your mother, your father, your good friend or good friends. Think about just building up your savings, right? Just being ahead of the game. This is a really good way, and the Land Champs Club is for you. If that's your thought and your mindset on what you want to do. So you're not going to find any fluff. You're not going to find no sex appeal. You're not going to see me drive up in no foreign car and all that type of stuff. That's not me. That's not what I do. We just like to keep it real. We're going to show you the real. And if it's for you, it's going to be for you, right? It's not network marketing. It's just straight land investing. So there's no tree. There's no, I don't make money off of you and, all that type of garbage. I just want to show you what me and my partners do, help you be able to do it yourself. And again, if you put in the work and you're tenaciously focused, you're going to do extremely well. And you're going to find it. It's not that it's always so easy. It's just that it's a very simplified process that you can duplicate and replicate. And you can even flip, land for very substantial profits, 5 and even 6-figure profits that you could do right now today from your device anywhere in this country. So anyway, I'm Champ Ron. This is episode number 290. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thanks to everybody that tuned in with questions, thoughts. Email me, ron@landchamps.club. Club. I look forward to connecting with you there. And then look for the announcement of Land Champs. We've already got the domain, everything set up. We're going to be ready to go. We're going to rock this thing, and we're going to help many people. And so I'm excited about that. Continue to support the Minding Your Business podcast. Reach out to me if you're interested in being a guest. You know someone that'd like to be a guest. I'd love to have future discussions as we keep moving this thing along. There are three things that unite us all, no matter where we're from, no matter what side of the tracks, what side of the water that you're from. We all want to be a little bit better for ourselves, a little bit better for our families, and a little bit better for our communities. And if we can keep those three things in mind with everybody that we interact with, man, we'll make this place a much better place. The Minding Your Business podcast, Champion Land Champs Club. I want to see you there. No excuses, okay? And don't sit and wait for everybody to do it and then jump on it, because like the great philosopher Fat Joe said, yesterday's price is not today's price. Go be great.